Yeah, so the time limit for coding round was 90 minutes.
And if given opportunity for both of them in the same company, what you would like to choose? Remote one or going in person to office? I would like to know, how did you apply for Swiggy? How did you get this opportunity and what was the interview process in Swiggy?
Round was an online assessment followed by 3 rounds of virtual interview. The offer letter was issued the next day, which was also my birthday.
Hello everyone, welcome to this new episode. So in this video we have a very special guest, Goutham, who has recently joined Swiggy as an associate software engineer, and he has also completed his 6 months of internship at Rakuten. So in this video he will be talking about the interview process at Rakuten and Swiggy, and also he will be sharing about his preparation journey, resources he followed, and all about his learnings. So make sure you watch this video till the end, and I am sure this video will help anyone who is preparing for the similar roles. So let's start. So hi Goutham, can you first introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Goutham. I'm currently working as an associate software developer at Swiggy.
And which college are you from?
I have completed my bachelor's from Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, Bangalore.
Okay Gautam, so you have completed your 6-month internship at Rakuten, right?
Yeah.
So can you share how you secured that internship and what was the interview process like?
So it was an on-campus opportunity. Rakuten India visited our campus. So the interview process consisted of 4 rounds. First round was an online assessment followed by 3 rounds of virtual interview. First round was conducted on HackerRank with some technical MCQs and coding question, and then followed by...
What was the time limit for that coding round?
Yeah, so the time limit for coding round was 90 minutes.
Okay.
It was basic to medium level of questions, and coding was medium level. And
Okay.
With that, then results were announced. Shortlisting was done, and next round of interview was after nearly 10 days of the online assessment. So it was a virtual interview, and senior engineer took the interview.
How many rounds were there in the virtual interview?
There were 3 rounds in virtual interview.
What topics were asked in those rounds?
Yes, so each round was different, and yes, in the first round of virtual interview, questions were based on basic technologies groups and basic programming questions on Java, debugging on it, and then some on JavaScript, then on front end like some part of React. Those were discussed in first round of interview, and after a week of the first round of interview, I got notification for regarding the next round, and next round of interview was taken by a tech lead, and in which we discussed the personal projects I made and demo of it, and then followed by coding question posed by him, which was based on using technique of hash maps, and it was a bit complex problem, but it was implementation was easy. It was a big problem, and explained the process of it and solved it. Even came up with much optimal solution also. So this was the second round of virtual interview. With that, I got next day itself I got information that I have cleared it, and there would be another round of third round of interview, which would be taken by hiring manager. So the hiring manager round was interesting. It started with the technologies I have worked, overview on it, the projects I have worked, and then very fundamental questions posed by him on like how HTTP request cycle works, and then regarding multi-threading and
Okay, so what was the duration of this entire interview process? From coding round till the last interview round?
So from coding to last interview round, it took almost 15 days, and after that, more 5 days for getting offer letter. So it was
Okay.
20 day. The whole process was complete 20 days. And
Okay, that's great. So next question I would like to ask you. So what were the main skills and technologies which you focused on while you were working at Rakuten?
yeah, so at Rakuten, I was part of a project which included uh, tech, Java Spring Boot, and it was a data pipeline project I'm working on. It was building similar to ETL pipeline, in-house ETL pipeline.
So internship was for the duration of 6 months, right?
Yeah. And
Okay, and you, in which year did you complete this internship?
so I joined Rakuten this February, and my internship was completed in August.
Okay, so basically it was your 8th semester, right?
Yes.
Okay, so were you having any job offers in your hand when you joined that internship?
And so while joining internship, the Rakuten was the only offer I had.
Okay.
And yes.
So while your internship, were you also preparing for the interviews?
Yeah. So I start even during internship. I started preparing for interviews for opportunities outside, and
So one question I would like to ask here. So many people feel like it is very difficult to manage both work and preparation. So how did you manage to do so? While you were on your internship, you were also preparing for interviews. So how did you manage these two things?
so having known the uh, end timeline of internship and the specific the time constraint I had. So what I did was so it's not easy to work on both. Even I knew it. So I first focused on my project which I was given there. So I completed it in less than the half time given to me, half of the timeline, and then I majorly focused on preparing for interviews and upskilling myself.
Okay, that's great that you managed both. So I would like to know, how did you apply for Swiggy? How did you get this opportunity, and what was the interview process in Swiggy?
Yeah, so via LinkedIn, I got to know about the opportunity at Swiggy, and since I had some connections, I approached and got a referral, and then next day itself, I got an online assessment link, and it consisted of two coding questions, and 60 minutes, and it was on the Hacker Rank platform itself, and I so of clearing that round. Next round was coding assessment, and so the whole process consisted of 4 rounds. First was online assessment, next was coding assignment, for which I was given 2 days, and third was technical interview, and fourth was hiring manager. And so in the coding assignment, I was given a assignment to develop a game, and there were options to develop it in three of the languages: Go, Java, or Node. So, and since I was proficient in Java, I developed it and submitted the assignment. And next, I got called for the technical interview, which was based on the coding, majorly based on the coding assignment which I had submitted. And so, technical interview started with overview of the implementation, walkthrough, and the demo. With that, the interviewer gave some ideas to introduce new features in the game, and they were easy to implement. Did it as expected by him, and then discussed on an mm, scenarios of the game, and it was an hypothetical scenario that in which case the game would run till infinite. So initially I was not able to come up with the solution, but on getting hints from the interview, I approached the solution, and it was as expected to him. Then we moved on to discussion to some basic code debuggings and some basic database questions, and an overview on my projects. With this, the technical interview came to an end.
Okay, so did your internship at Rakuten help in your hiring process at Swiggy?
Yes. For the next round, which was hiring manager round, so for the first 30 to 35 minutes, we just discussed. It was just the projects which I did at Rakuten was being discussed, and like various aspects of the project were discussed, and the discussion went on for 35 minutes solely on those projects, and then the next was an implementation or a simulation of LRU cache, which was asked by him, and I implemented it, and with all the classes and member functions as expected, and there were some code improvements required which he suggested, and with that came up with a more efficient approach, and he was satisfied by the solution.
Okay. So you had like total of 4 rounds. One the coding test, second was the coding assignment, third was the technical interview, and fourth was hiring manager round. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and when did you get that offer letter?
Yeah, so after hiring manager round got completed, so within 2 hours I got call from the HR to upload the documents for the further process, and the offer letter was issued the next day, which was also my birthday.
Oh, okay, that was quite soon and on a very good day for you. So congratulations for getting offer from Swiggy.
Thank you.
So did you apply only through LinkedIn or did you use any other platforms like Indeed, Naukri for applying to jobs roles?
I used Naukri initially, but there were not much openings for fresher. So then I solely focused on LinkedIn and direct recruitment, which was available. Links or postings were available on LinkedIn. Those were the only major source of applying to jobs.
Okay, great to know that. So you are based out of Bangalore. So are you going to office in Bangalore only or is it some other place?
So the opportunity I got here is remote, and it is. So the whole team is working remote, and we are just it is completely remote, and the team meets once in quarter for a few days, and that is in the office in Bangalore. Everyone comes here, but rest of the days we just work from home. It's completely remote.
Okay, that's great. So you got a completely remote opportunity from Swiggy. So do you like this remote opportunity or as a fresher you wanted to go to office in person?
Yeah, so having experienced a completely work from office at Rakuten during my internship, so initially I was much hesitant to have a remote job, but it is not that bad as expected. But yeah, the networking opportunity and having interaction in person is something not easy on remote setup.
Definitely, it's quite easy in person than in the remote job.
Yes. So that's one of the major. That's one of the major disadvantage, you can say. But yeah, it is pretty good, and considering the traffic and traveling in Bangalore, it's better.
Okay, so seeing the traffic, you find that remote job is better for Bangalore than going to office every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I understood, you had a completely different experience working in Rakuten, going in person to office 5 days a week and working completely remote in Swiggy. So which one do you like the most?
So
And if given opportunity for both of them in the same company, what you would like to choose? Remote one or going in person to office?
So one of the since I worked at Rakuten for 6 months, and it was pretty amazing experience there. From the infrastructure to the tech I worked with and the people, everything was very interesting. So yeah, so my major preference was always work from office, but then coming to the traveling part, which was not much of concern then. But for Swiggy, but when Swiggy is considered for work from office, then the traveling is a major issue. So that's one of the thing. Rest, if traveling is not taken into consideration or if that is reduced, working from office is always a better choice.
Okay, so both have their own pros and cons. Yeah. Okay, so coming to next question. So what technical skills do you find is most valuable in landing your job at Swiggy?
So for one of the major skills or the things which helped me out to land a job at Swiggy was my projects at Rakuten. So working to data pipeline and even Gen AI projects. So there was something which helped me to have a better which helped me to explain my understanding better, and the experience which I got on working on those projects were really good, and from those that learning was surely one of the major factors which helped me crack this off.
Okay, so have you done any personal projects also apart from this 6 months internship?
Yes, so I had worked majorly on web development projects and AI and machine learning projects.
Okay.
So which also was a part of which also helped me to crack interviews even at Rakuten. That was the major factor.
Okay.
Helped me get that offer, and with top of that the experience and the projects at Rakuten helped me get an offer here at Swiggy.
Okay, so is system design important at your level? Did you get any question from system design in any of the rounds?
No, so system design was not asked majorly. System design was not focused in the interview.
Okay, so the main focus was on DSA and development.
Yes, DSA and development,
Got it.
and those were the major.
Okay, so now coming to next question, which is most commonly asked question. So students generally ask like, should I do DSA or should I do development? And if I do both, then how can I manage both of them? So as I can learn from your journey that you have focused both on DSA and development. So how did you manage them?
Yes, so I initially started with learning web technologies. But I also had good understanding of data structures and algorithms. It was since it was part of curriculum, so I was even on track of it. Then having learned one of the key technologies, so then I understood the importance that first I need to focus more on problem solving, and technologies can always be learned. So the first key is improving and doing better at problem solving is required first.
Okay. So now let's talk about some resources. So what resources did you follow in your preparation journey, both for DSA and development?
So for DSA, I followed Striver's A to Z sheet. That is enough in itself, and for my projects, I took courses from Udemy and did some code along projects, and with the knowledge of it, I built some custom projects. And yeah, those were the major part of my preparation.
Okay, so let's talk about DSA and development one by one. So only studying Striver sheet for DSA. So what do you think, is it enough, or student you need to prepare somewhere else also for DSA?
So Striver's A to Z sheet is more than enough for getting landing into any good or major MNCs, or it is very much enough.
Okay. And what about development? If someone wants to make project which they don't want to copy it from any online sources, so what is the best place to start to make custom projects?
So the first would be initially starting with code along projects, getting the understanding of how how the workflow is, how implementations are done. With knowledge of that, then can do some on having good knowledge on this, then can build custom projects with your own understanding and researching new how we can add or implement new features or new problem, how newly we can solve the problems in the same tech.
Okay. So, okay, so now your Rakuten internship was on campus, and what about your Swiggy offer? Was it on campus or off campus?
Yeah, I got it off campus.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as you applied off campus for the Swiggy role, so I'm sure you must have also struggled with resume to make a standout resume so that it reaches to the recruiter and you get an interview call. So can you share some tips to make a good resume?
So one of the things to make a good resume was, even which I struggled with initially, was developing real world impactful projects which has some good real world use cases, and that's one of the key. And other things like certifications and other activities like attending any workshops, hackathons, those are also key to get shortlisted your resume.
So did you use any tools for making resume?
So I just used Overleaf to generate resume, and which has coding, and for the code and phrasing or making my resume better, I used ChatGPT and like copy pasted the code from there.
Okay, so you don't need any AI tools or something to make a good resume. You can make it on your own just using ChatGPT for phrasing and using simple tools like Overleaf or MS Word, right? Okay, got it. So did you make a different resume for applying to different roles, or you were using same resume for applying to all the roles?
Yeah, so since I had worked on different tech projects, and based on according to the roles I was applying, so which projects were more closer or related to those openings, so I used to alter the projects and certifications according to it. Rest everything almost remains same.
Okay, so that's great to learn about your journey. So one thing I would like to ask here, how did you stay consistent and motivated in your preparation journey? Many students start to prepare, but after some time they lose focus and get demotivated when they are not getting interview calls or not getting selected for the role. So how did you manage to be consistent and motivated for the same?
Yes, so one of the thing was I was getting interview calls, so that was not something which I had to face with. But yeah, surely it was not that easy to see when other people, your friends, are getting offers.
Definitely.
They are joining. You see
You get demotivated.
yeah, you see the LinkedIn post, but but there's nothing you can do. What you can do is just stay consistent, keep on learning and improving yourself. Well, that's the only thing possible from our side.
Okay, so what advice you would like to give to someone who is starting out and looking for similar roles at product-based companies?
So one would be being very having the fundamental knowledge of what the basic technologies, and second is knowing the projects and the tech whatever you have done. Third would be networking. It is very, in the current scenario of market, networking is very important.
So how do you think networking helped you?
Yeah, so having a one of the thing was having a good alumni network. I used to approach the alumni for advice and referrals to get into the specific company. So it helped me better prepare much better uh, And yeah, that's one of the key.
Okay. So now just I want to ask you one last question. So what mistake did you make early on which you want others to avoid in their career?
Yeah, so uh, I would say it first focus on being good at problem solving, then diving into learning the emerging technologies and making those uh, what do you say, the world class projects which we expect. So having a good problem solving skill is much important. Then surely you can work on the other areas.
Okay. So thank you, Gautam. Thank you so much for making time for this podcast. So I'm sure this was a very insightful podcast. So I learned a lot from you, and I'm sure everyone who is watching this podcast must have learned so much from this video about the resources, about your preparation journey, and about your learnings. So thank you for making time for this.
Even I would like to express my gratitude to you for giving me the opportunity to your on your platform, and and it is, if my preparation journey or anything can help anyone, if if it is helpful in anyone's journey, so I'm really grateful to it.
That was my pleasure inviting you to this podcast. And anyone have some doubt or anyone like to ask something from Gautam, I will share his profile, LinkedIn profile link in the description. You can check out that link and reach directly to Gautam. So thank you so much.